Hello, it's Doris with Aldi Books coming at you from my theatrical setup here. Anyway, how's it going? I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know what to call this video, but what should I tell you first? This is going to be a currently reading video. Maybe you could call it an October TBR. It could be a wrap up, but really no, it can't be a wrap up for reasons that I'll get into, which I'm sure that you might figure out for yourself. But first things first, there is a very brief cat clip at the end featuring Chicky, starring Chicky, I should say, and featuring Pico and a wild guest star. So my son sent it to me, obviously. And yeah, Pico brought a mouse in the house, which, he tries to do quite often of late, apparently. But he was successful this time, and Chicky really gets so excited when that happens because she loves her a mousey, and yeah, Gabriel doesn't let her outside. I'm already rambling, so I should just go ahead and tell you that this is not an apology. This is a warning that this video may be excessively long, but I'm assuming that those of you who are not interested in that will not watch. Anyway, the cat clip, I just wanted to give you trigger warnings. There's no blood and gore. I don't know if I should say there's no violence. It's very delicate. And, Gabriel did save the mousey. It was not wounded, and put it outside. I'm just going to move on from this topic, but it's the end if you want to watch it. And then mid-month book bash is, it's the only cat clip I have, so, and it's not bad. It's 20 seconds and the mousey's fine. Anyway, mid-month book bash is next weekend. So it's Saturday where I am right now. Friday where most of you are. Goodness knows when this video will go up, because this morning my VPN was working gangbusters. I got my watch later list down below 80, 79 even. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a video. I have things to say. I better capitalize on this. So I started downloading pictures of all of the books that are in progress or need to be in progress or really need to be done. And I sent them all to my work email because I thought I had that downloaded on my Huawei. This is a Huawei, by the way. Why do I have two phones? Well, China. So COVID testing is alive and well here. You have health codes on your phone, and I kept my US service to communicate with my family through iMessenger when my VPN's not working, because that still works with people who have iPhones, so it's great. However, I have a Chinese SIM card, so I can't access iMessenger with the Chinese SIM card. Well, with the iPhone, because this is not an iPhone. I had to keep my Chinese plan on a separate phone so that I could have my health codes accessible when I'm out and about. My iPhone currently only works when I'm on the internet, on Wi-Fi. So, and I'm certainly not going to pay for international Verizon plan. I'm just so rambly, but I did warn you. So anyway, I sent them to my work account so I could get them on the, Huawei. And lo and behold, scatterbrain me, I forgot that I only have my Gmail downloaded on here thus far, not my work email. So I couldn't get them. And in that process, like just as I was ready to check my YouTube to see what I filmed in last, because I feel like I've been filming in my pajamas a lot lately, and I wanted to check if at least it wasn't the Millennium Falcon. So just as I was getting ready to check, the VPN quit working, and I'm like, damn. So I tried to get my work email on here, and I just couldn't figure it out, mainly because I can't remember my password for my work email. Imagine that. Anyway, I finally, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Not that I'm into animal violence, as you may have seen that I was alluding to about the earlier clip about little Mousy. But anyway, but circle of life. I didn't really want to say that, but I did, because, this is me. Anyway, skinning the cat, I didn't figure it out, like, this is not brain surgery, but I realized that I could just take a picture of my iPhone with my Huawei. So, I couldn't get my email to work, but I got my camera to work. So here we are. Here we are using our technology any way we can. So mid-month book bash, I think that's where I was in this conversation. That is next weekend. Like, I'm currently in this weekend, but next weekend. So Monday is the 10th when I have to go back to work. Yeah, vacation. But let me not ramble again in the middle of this thought. Monday is the 10th. So mid-month book bash is when we try to read a lot in a 48, like it's a 24 and 48. Did that used to be a readathon? I can't even remember how to do this anymore. That used to be a readathon back in the day, right? This is my version, in which you give yourself a cheat day on the Friday before and the Monday after to finish up, should you need that, which most of us do. So anyway, trying to read a lot in a 4-day weekend. I can do this. Anyway, so it always is the weekend of, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But it's next weekend. So Monday's the 10th, 9, 8, 7. It starts on Friday the 7th. It's always the weekend of the 10th, or immediately thereafter, or immediately before. After. It's after the 10th. Yeah. Anyway, nobody cares. Next month I'll know the answer. But right now, I'm telling you, it's mid-month book bash. Read a lot. The 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th of October. I'm embarrassed for myself right now, but I'm rusty. I'm still in my Millennium Falcon pajamas, and vacation. That was the next interjection here that I controlled it. So I'm on vacation. It is a national holiday week. So today is national holiday here in China, which is I've asked a few people and they have agreed that yes, it is synonymous with the U.S. 4th of July / Independence Day, however you like to refer to that. So yeah, October 1st, national holiday. We have the whole upcoming week off. So I am on vacation from, now, or actually yesterday at 3:30 until Monday the 10th at 7:30 a.m. So, fun times ahead. I was contemplating vlogging it, but VPN issues. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to vlog mid-month book bash, which is next weekend, the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Definitely going to do that. But if I vlogged today, but it would be fun because it's national holiday, and I'm on this vlogging high from watching Heather from Soggy Expat Book Nerd complete her Shorty September, like not only 30 books in 30 days, but 30 vlogs in 30 days. Like, she's my hero, okay? I just finished the last one this morning, and I'm just so happy about it. I mean, I'm sad as well because tomorrow there won't be one, but that's okay because, like I said, I have 80 other videos in my watch later list to attend to. So maybe by the time she vlogs again, that'll be under control. Anyway, so I may or may not vlog, and I don't know when you'll see any of this because if my VPN is not working, I'll have to go up to the school to use their internet, which isn't that far. It's like a 10-minute walk maybe. But anyway, is there anything else I need to ramble about before I actually talk about books here? The title of this video, let's get into the books now. You're so excited. I'm at 12 minutes and finally talking about the books. So, books. I read one. Outside of my BookTube prize reading, which, I turned in my ballot. It's all good. I finished one book in the month of September, which was Upstream by Mary Oliver, selected essays, and I loved it. I will have a review up of this sometime soon-ish, I hope, for reasons which I will get to. But this isn't really about like what I read in September because, it's just one book. And I can't even remember if I wrapped up August either. I'll have to check when the VPN's looking, and I can see if I wore my pajamas in the last video and if I reviewed a book in the last video. So here's where we're at. We have got so many books. Like, I even want to read, like, I might just go ahead and do it for the hell of it. Just add a Mary Oliver poetry collection to my October currently reading / TBR. That's what this is. This is a currently reading / TBR video for October. Fictober, which I meant to see if I have a Victober read. I think I did bring one with me, but I was so just flabbergasted about my technology issues and my pajama conundrum that I forgot to get it. So, when I vlog, maybe I'll remember. That'll just keep you in suspense until then. I know it will. So where we're at, let's start with book Naturalist. So I finished this was, I don't even know what month this was. Yeah, that's problematic. Anyway, I finished it. This one I have not finished, and this one was this is Book Naturalist, Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. I am maybe a third of the way through this, and I was enjoying it, but I need to finish this as well. And also, Two Trees Make a Forest by Jessica J. Lee. In Search of My Family's Past Among Taiwan's Mountains and Coasts. So excited to read this because I'm very close to Taiwan now. Maybe I will visit at some point next year or the year after. I've got a 3-year contract here. So I think that this is September's Book Naturalist, and that this is July's Book Naturalist, and this was August, maybe, which means I also need to get the October's Book Naturalist off my shelf. Yeah. I'll keep you in suspense about that too, or you can just, go see Heidi's channel and get caught up, because she's so much more on the ball than me at the moment. So, Lab Girl by Hope Jaron. I have already read this. It is fabulous. But last year when, my guy and I were long distance dating, I was reading this to him and uploading the chapters onto my secret YouTube account. It's not a secret YouTube account. It's my defunct Crafty channel that I have been since COVID secretly uploading read alouds. First to my elementary school students during the height of the COVID, and then to my boyfriend when we were, long distance dating. And I have gotten, I would say 2/3 of the way through that read aloud. But he's probably only listened to 1/3 of it. So I think during vacation, I'm going to make him finish and then actually read the rest to him in person. How cute is that? Oh, so cute. I know. So there's that. And then let's talk about school. Oh my gosh. There have been some rocky places that, I won't go into detail involving, let's just not bore you with those details, but overall I'm absolutely loving my life. Oh, I love the students. I teach at a college prep boarding school, so these students are very driven academically. Not all of them, but a good bulk of them are driven academically. It's a very academically driven school, obviously, and I'm just enjoying the heck out of all of it, except for the one little issue, but we're not talking about that. It's over. It's not over, but I've washed my hands of it. So what am I doing at school? I am an ELL teacher still. I was an ELL teacher in Tennessee in public school systems for 21 years. Elementary, middle, high school. It varied from year to year which schools that I was attending to. But here, this boarding school is 5th through 12th grade. And this year they have added a pre-K day student program. So we have 17 pre-K kindergarten students all in a combined classroom. So 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and actual kindergarten 5-year-olds. There are 6 of those, or 7. There's 7 of those. So 7 actual kindergartners, and then 3-year-old pre-K, 4-year-old pre-K in a combined classroom. So the fun of it, one of the fun things is that I'm kind of building my own schedule here and activities. So yeah. So I volunteered for this year. They're trying, last year they divided it by grade level, but this year they're trying out dividing it by subject area. So I volunteered to do biology because I have a biology degree and an ESL degree. So that seemed perfect. And the 8th grade teachers, I am really jiving with them. I've developed a FRQ Fridays, which is FRQ is free response questions. So AP exams are really big in our school. They start taking them in 9th grade. So obviously 8th graders need to really start prepping to be able to take those classes. Free response questions are in a timed format, so they need to be able to not only think about their content and write about their content, but do it in a timed manner. So we're practicing those in a 5-minute block every Friday now. I'm writing them and grading them. It's super fun. And then I'm also supporting the classes somewhat, some of them that need support. So that's one thing I'm doing. And then this is so exciting. Y'all, my love of books, my ESL degree and my science degree are all merging with just an academically driven student population, and I'm loving life. So I am writing source material for the 9th grade honors physics book club. Did I say I'm loving my life? Oh my gosh. So we're reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And look, Doris has turned over a new leaf. She's tabbing. Because, when you're writing curriculum, you kind of need to do that. So I have read the first 3 chapters, and nerd alert, absolutely loving it. Like, I resisted reading The Martian by Andy Weir because I don't read a lot of science fiction. Like, I don't read hardly any. I don't like space writing as much. Like, astronomy is not my favorite science. I'm a little bit afraid of heights. I'm a little bit, not exactly claustrophobic, but not being able to see out and, being way the hell up there in a tin can, that doesn't do good things for me. I'm not triggered or anything by it. I'm just it's not my favorite. I mean, I love Star Wars, okay? I absolutely adore Star Wars, and I like Star Trek too. But I don't know. I was just I never really wanted to, but now I'm totally going to read The Martian because this is great. I didn't pick this out. The physics department had already decided to do it, and I just kind of volunteered my services, and now, so fun. So very fun. They're starting the discussions after the break. So I've got the first 3 chapters written, and I need to do the next 3 before the break, so the teachers will have time to use it, figure out what they want to use and organize themselves. But yeah, totally. And then I volunteered to teach kindergarten. So I'm teaching reading science discovery. So the science teachers are coming in and teaching a lesson once a week, and so I'm pairing my materials to what they're teaching. So the first one was the astronomy teacher. He took them to the observatory. Yeah, my school has an observatory, okay? He brought in the telescopes and all kinds of fun things. So anyway, my first reading for them was How to Catch a Star by Oliver Jeffers. Absolutely delightful read. So we're doing read alouds and then talking about reading comprehension strategies, like we did story sequencing with this one, and ELL materials, because half the class are teachers' kids who are completely fluent in English and little brainiacs, and half the class is non-English speaking yet. They're Chinese nationals. and are there for English immersion. So yeah, how to catch start, and also crafty projects, because I like that kind of thing too, and they do too. And I'm not gonna brag, but they pretty much love me. I mean, I just did brag, but it's so sweet. Like, one of the dads stopped me in the hall Friday after school. It was like, my little boys just talk about you every day when they get home. And I was just like, it's the books though, right? All the books. Anyway, next up with them is, we're moving on to the moon. So we're going to read Kitten's First Full Moon by Kevin Hinkes, and Pete the Cat Out of This World by James Dean. Like, I swear it is just serendipitous that these are both cat books. I swear. I mean, it's probably because, I already knew about both of them prior to, and I love cats, so it probably is. It's not deliberate is what I'm saying. I didn't do it on purpose, but I can see how it would happen. And then one of my ELL coworkers is in charge of Battle of the Books, which is a program in the States. I was aware of it, where students read 12 books throughout the course of the school year, and then go battle, like, trivia questions about them with other schools. So my school, the middle school team, won last year, so the pressure's on to win again. So I volunteered to help with that. Of course I did. And I picked this up from the library Friday. Girl Giant and the Monkey King by Van Huang. The librarian said that the kids are loving it. Like, this is on their new book display. And she said 3 students have already read it and just really loved it. So I'm very excited to read this. I wouldn't have taken it because I can get it online, and I would want a student to be able to read it first, but it was Friday afternoon before vacation and nobody had it, and I can read it during the week, no problem. So if I focus, which I haven't been, but I will. I'm turning over a new leaf. So those are all the books that I have read. I have on hand physically. I have not read them, as I've previously stated. So that's not too bad, but herein lies the problem. This online reading life that I have. So where to even start? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books on here. And that's not even counting the Mary Oliver, which I'm going to add it. Anyway, so let's see. Let's start with the library app, which I believe is the oldest books hanging around in my life. So on my library app, I have Small Island by Andrea Levy, which is absolutely charming. Jamaican. You see how that happened? Charming Jamaican. That's hard to say. Charming Jamaican read. Also in London. And I started this in June for Caribathon and was absolutely loving it. I mean, it is just charming to the nth degree. But, my life was chaotic. So I need to get this done. I mean, because it is October. And then, like, this is what's going on. Heidi told me about this one, The Fisherman and the Dragon by Kirk Wallace Johnson, who is the author of The Feather Thief, which was fabulous. And it is fear, greed, and a fight for justice on the Gulf Coast. So obviously I need to read it because this author is going to be great. But also, I'm from the Gulf Coast of the United States. Like, this is about where I'm from. So I've been dying to read this one, but I've been diligent. Like, I put my name on the watch later list as soon as she told me about it over a month ago. And anytime the hold comes up, I defer it for 2 weeks. So I haven't started it yet, but I really want to. But I've been disciplined. I haven't started it, but that's the only discipline I've shown, because she also told me about Breathless by David Quammen, the scientific race to defeat a deadly virus. So David Quammen is probably my favorite science writer. I've read The Broken Tree and Spillover and Monster of God by him. And, I fully intend to read his entire collection. So obviously I wanted to read this one immediately as well. I did not show discipline. I'm not reading it yet, but that's only because it releases October 4th, which is soon. But I was telling one of my biology coworkers about it, and I was just gushing about David Quammen, and I was telling her about Spillover, which is it's his book about zoonotic diseases, which are diseases that spill over from the animal population into humans, which is malaria, Ebola, avian flu, stuff like that, COVID. So in the process of gushing about it and thinking about like how great it would be, like, this is a brilliant preface to David Quammen's new book about the COVID, because it tells you like all the lead up information about zoonosis through all of these other diseases. So like, I couldn't help myself. I'm rereading it. And like, this is the one I've been reading the most in the month of September. I read the most in the month of September. I can use verb tenses as well. So yeah, this is a reread for me. I'm totally into it. And highly recommend if you are into science nonfiction. If you're into science fiction, grab you some Andy Weir. Okay, so that, I believe, is all on the library app. Yes. So let's move on to Scribd, shall we? So on Scribd, I have Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb on audiobook. I mean, look at that chest. Do we do fantasy fiction covers right in the US or what? I don't even remember when I started this, but this might be my second oldest on the go. And I really am not on the go with it. It's just barely read. But yeah, I need to get that read eventually. I also started Breaking Open, How Your Pain Becomes the Path to Living Again by Jacob Armstrong. Jacob Armstrong is a minister in the United States, in Tennessee, in my town that I was living in. And I actually went to his church for a couple years. I met him. His daughter started kindergarten when Gabriel started kindergarten. And he and I were like the last two waving bye to our kids as they walked off to class every day for the whole year. Just an absolutely delightful human being. So, of course, I had to read his audiobook. I'm listening to it because he read the audiobook himself. So, enjoying that, but I listened. It's only 4 hours, and I listened to the first 3, I think, in quarantine back in July, and then didn't finish the last hour, and I need to do that. And then also on Scribd, I just downloaded Mine Till Midnight by Lisa Kleypas. This is also a reread, so this is like the reread zone I'm in. Love Lisa Kleypas. And this one, these are Regency. I am reading this with Kate and Heidi. My romance reading buddies. Oh, I did read another book. I read one online somewhere by that science romance writer that's so popular right now. Anyway, when I do a wrap up, I'll tell you about it. Anyway, I feel better. 2 books. So I doubled last month. Oh, so good. Anyway, so moving on to what am I doing? I don't want to do that. Don't select any. Okay, moving on. We're almost done. I apologize. I don't. I mean, if you're still watching, it's because you want to watch. I'm not Canadian. I don't need to say sorry. That's an inside joke because my guy's Canadian and he says sorry a lot. This stereotype holds with him. Anyway, maybe he's rubbing off on me and I'm getting a little more polite. Doubtful, but anyway, moving on to NetGalley, and we're almost done. This is the last thing. So on NetGalley, I had this brilliant idea to I'm going to China and I don't know how accessible books will be, and I don't know how all that it's going to work on online zone. So let me request a few books on NetGalley. And I did. I requested 5 and I got all 5 fairly quickly. And I was a dummy and I opened 3 of them right away. And I'm kind of new to NetGalley. This is my second round with them. So I didn't realize that when you open them, you only have X amount of days to read them. And it's a lot of days. I think I did know that. It's like 50 days or something, or 60. But I haven't been reading. That's the problem. I did know, but I thought I could do it in 60 days. But here I am. And 2 of these books, I only have 15 days left to read. And I don't know if NetGalley will let you re-request them if you don't finish them. So if any of you are still watching this and you know the answer to that, will NetGalley, after the 60 days expire, will they let you request them again? But I'm going to try to read them. So Skirts, I'm listening to on audiobook. This is Fashioning Modern Femininity in the 20th Century by Kimberly Chrisman Campbell, read by Sarah Wellborn. So this has been really good thus far. I think I've only listened to 5%. So, but I really like these books that pair pop culture with feminism. The one I read about that beauty pageant was really good. I mean, I'm in China, y'all, so I can't tell you the name of it. I'm not prepared to. But anyway, I don't even remember which. Miss America pageant? Was it Miss America? Anyway, I like that kind of thing. So I have that one. And then I have On This Day, She, Putting Women Back into History One Day at a Time by Jo Bell, Tanya Hirschman, and Ailsa Holland. So this is another feminism book, and it's, turning his story into her story, kind of, if you will. And it's good too. The problem with this one is that it's one of those calendar type books, so there's an entry per day, 365. So those are probably intended to be read daily or at least weekly. So I have read the first 10 pages in this and 15 days left to read. I don't think I'm going to finish it because the style of writing, the page per day, calendar day, it's just not conducive to rapid reading. Not inducive, conducive. Like, I've got so many thoughts in my head that the words are hard. That's the problem here today. So I've read enough to be able to review it because it's consistent. And their platform is not only feminism, but the intersection with diversity. So a broad spectrum of women. So really good in that respect as well. So I think what I'll do with this one is go ahead and review it for NetGalley, and then let it go, and then try to buy it and read it as it was intended in the next calendar year, 2023. So there's that one. I saved this page from it to send to the physics teacher because I thought he might like to share it with his class. It's on a Chinese American woman physicist. So I will leave that there if you want to stop and read it if you're interested. So there's that. And then lastly, the ones I have currently open that I need to finish. This one I have 24 days on. It's The Song of the Cell, An Exploration of Medicine and the New Human by Siddhartha Mukherjee. I think this is genetic phylogeny, I think. It's about studying genetics within the cell and the new technology with that and all sorts of things. And this is the author of The Emperor of Melodies, which I have not read, but I hear great things. So this one I think I've read just nothing. I don't think I've even started this one, but I opened it, so I have to read it. And I want to read it. So, yeah. I think I've exhausted what I have to say. So, yeah. I won't even reiterate anything because if you're still here, mid-month book bash, maybe I'm vlogging, maybe I'm not. Cat video coming. Love my job. Loving life here in China. Gabriel's doing well. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. And I'll be back soon. Bye.
What is it, Chicky?
The cat in the wild. Do you see it? There's a mouse. Hey, dude. Move, cat. You're not providing good footage. There it is. Oh my goodness. So fun, so fun. It's so cute. I guess I better go catch the bus. Bye, cutie.